Hello and welcome to Nirmal Bang, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hito Daria. We have with us Mr. Vijay Shankar, Chairman, and Mr. Ramkumar Shankar, MD at Chemplast Sanmar joining in. Welcome to the show, gentlemen, and always a pleasure to speak to you. Let my first question come to you, Vijay. Overall, in terms of where the IPO is concerned, if you could just give us details of the IPO first.
So thank you for having us on the Nirmal Bang show. So our IPO is about 3850 crores, out of which the fresh issuance is 1300 crores. And this is going to basically repay some NCDs and make our company close to net debt free at the end of this issue. And I think the main purpose of this issuance is accelerating our growth plans. We will get a very strong balance sheet at the end of this issue. And I think it will allow us to take advantage of the many growth opportunities in front of us, which Ram and me will speak a little bit later about. I think all our business segments have some very exciting possibilities. Our Indian businesses focused on India are fast growth deficit markets, import led. In many ways, more than 50% of our key products in India are imported of the key products which we serve. So I think huge opportunity for us to take advantage through our expansion plans that we'll outline. Similarly, on our export business, which is our custom manufacturing business, again, we've built up some strong relationships with innovator companies in Europe and other places. And I think we're going to put in place an expansion program there as well to take advantage of those.
Right. And overall, Mr. Ramkumar, with regards to the anchor book, if you could just give us more details as to who are the anchor investors?
Yes, we just closed the anchor book last evening, and we've had a list of marquee names, kind of a who's who of the Indian investor community taking part in the anchor book. We closed the anchor book at around 1,732 crores, which accounts for 45% of the total issue size. And we have in the anchor book where leading mutual funds over 52%, around 52% of the anchor book is the leading mutual funds in India. All the marquee names like State Bank of India, Axis, Mirae, and so on, Sundaram, IPRU, MF. We also have a mix of insurance companies, FPIs and FIIs, AIFs, and NBFCs in the overall mix. The anchor book itself was oversubscribed, and there was more demand for that. And we see that as a reflection of the confidence in our business model, in our ESG history, and overall in the Sanmar Group philosophy.
Right. Vijay, overall in terms of the issue, what are the objects of the issue? How are we planning to utilize the funds?
So as I said, a very significant portion of the primary issuance goes to repay or all of it goes to repay the NCDs, which are existing. So out of the 1,300 crore fresh issuance, almost 1,238 crores is the NCDs outstanding. So I think that takes care of a large portion of the fresh issuance. And the second issuance goes to repay some debt that we have at our promoter company, which again strengthens the promoter holding company's position and allows us to focus on growth at the company level for the next many years. The growth that we spoke about, the initial plans are to invest over 650 crores of capex over the next 3 years, especially focused on our specialty side of the business, which is our custom manufacturing business and our specialty paste PVC business.
Right. In terms of business as well, overall specialty chemicals as a space has been seeing a lot of traction in the last 12 to 18 months. If you could just help us understand the nature of this industry and how well are we placed and well equipped with it?
There are lots of opportunities in India, in the sense that India has both the advantages on both the ability as also the feedstock and the resources to address the huge opportunity that is there in the specialty chemical space. And especially with the happenings over the last 3 years, where the global innovator companies are rolling out a China plus one policy, and they are looking at an alternative. I think India is the first name that would spring to mind for all these innovator companies, and that is exactly what is fueling and driving the growth in the specialty chemical space in India. The space for instance, custom manufactured chemicals itself, which is currently considered to be around $5.5 billion in terms of market size, is estimated to grow in the next 5 years to close to $9 billion. So that is a kind of growth potential that is there in just one segment of the specialty chemicals industry. I believe
Right.
that India has a huge potential to grow here.
Right. So overall, for a company like ours, how much of our revenues do you think could come in from a replacement demand to China?
If you look at our revenue model across all our products, we are more focused on actually the growing Indian market in most of our business lines. Here, India is grossly underserved, with demand being far in excess of domestic capacity. We are one of the prime examples of the Atmanirbhar initiative of the Government of India, with most of our products being import substitutes. If you look at our custom manufactured chemicals business, which is 100% export oriented, there we serve the global market, not really the Chinese market. So to that extent, our opportunities are both national, domestic, as also international. We are really not too focused on China.
Right. Currently, overall, if you see in terms of business segments, how does the revenue breakup look like, and where are you seeing higher traction?
We have two platforms. One is the specialty chemical platform in Chemplast Sanmar, and the other is the suspension PVC platform in our 100% subsidiary Chemplast Cuddalore Vinyls. If you look at Chemplast Sanmar, around 70% of our overall current revenues come from two specialty businesses. One is a specialty paste PVC grade, which goes into making artificial and synthetic leather. This is a business where we have a 45% market share. We are the country's largest producer, with around 80% of the domestic supply. There are only two producers here, and this is a market that is growing at a good clip. 15% of our revenues approximately come from the custom manufacturing business. This is completely export driven, and we supply to global innovators in the pharmaceutical, agrochemical, and fine chemical space. And we are investing in both of these sectors. So we have, like Chairman Mr. Vijay Shankar just said, around over 600 crores of capex that is planned over the next 3 to 4 years, 256 crores to expand our specialty paste PVC capacity by 50%, and another 340 crores in the phased expansion of our custom manufacturing business to produce various products that are currently in the pipeline. The other 30% of revenues in Chemplast Sanmar come from products like caustic soda, hydrogen peroxide, and chloromethanes, which really complete the integration story of our manufacturing facilities and add a lot of value to both the byproducts and the joint products that we produce across our facilities.
Right. And overall, with all of this, do we see the revenue mix changing over time in the next 3 to 5 years?
With all these expansion projects that I just spoke about, you would see the specialty components part increasing as the years roll by.
Okay. In terms of geographies as well, Vijay, I mean, yes, we are predominantly trying to concentrate on the growing domestic market. How big could we get in terms of exports from here on?
So we've got two clearly identified segments. The custom manufacturing business is 100% export oriented. That's the business that we serve the global innovators in the life sciences and agrochemicals business. That constitutes about 15% of the company's revenue today. And it, based on the expansion, it potentially could, that percentage could increase down the road. Our other businesses are focused on the domestic market because these are, as I said, import led. So they are fast growth and also deficit in nature, meaning that the gap between the domestic demand and the domestic supply, out of which we are the largest manufacturer, it is met through imports. So that is why we are expanding our specialty PVC business to take advantage of that. The other three products that we make in the company also serve the domestic market because, again, there is a fast growth domestic market, which basically we are trying to take advantage of. But, we're not expanding so much to those other businesses right now.
Right. Overall, right now, taking COVID into consideration, how has our capacity utilization been versus, what we were, say, in 2018, 2019?
For our main products, normally our capacity utilization is around 90%, in excess of 90%. In fact, in some cases, it'll be as much as 100%. If you take paste PVC or chloromethanes or suspension PVC, any of those products. Of course, FY21 was a little bit of an exception because, as you know, during the first wave of the pandemic, there was a national lockdown in April and May 2020. So we lost around 30 to 45 days of production, as did possibly almost all the manufacturers in India. But that was not the case in the second wave. Second wave, we did not have such a stringent lockdown, and therefore our plants kept functioning. So this year you would see the recovery of those volumes. And we also have a hydrogen peroxide project, which we commissioned. We've commissioned one module fully, and the second module is being ramped up as we speak. So that would take another a few months for it to come to 100%. And finally, our caustic soda plant is a swing plant for us, and the operation of that would really depend on make or buy economics. So other than these two, normally our plants run at close to full capacity.
Right. And overall, from here on, if we have to see the past 3 to 4 years CAGR growth, is that something which is going to be sustainable, or do you think we will exceed the past 3 to 4 years of growth?
As you know, I'm not supposed to talk.
I know you can't give me anything in near term, but
right. So, but what I can say is that, like I just outlined our growth plans, our expansion plans. So obviously that would result in a growth to the top line. The fact that we would recover the volumes that we lost in FY21 because of the COVID lockdowns, that should also add both the top and the bottom lines. And we are very confident and bullish about the prospects of our industries, the various product spaces that we are in going forward. So yes, we believe that there is room for optimism.
Right. And very lastly, overall, any milestone that the company has, which you must have mentioned in the DRHP that we're looking to cross? Because I know, again, any forward-looking statements is something you can't give, but any milestones that you could talk about?
As a, our milestones are all based on execution, proper execution of whatever plans that we have laid out. And we would consider each such stage in that execution program as a milestone.
Right. And very lastly, one question I want to ask is, in terms of COVID, I understand a lot of businesses had issues with regards to logistics, in terms of, procuring raw material, that was a concern because of prices. For our sector, is there any major challenge that we faced due to COVID, which has still continued?
Actually, it was in our sector, the impact of COVID, while the impact was largely due to the lockdowns and therefore the plant operating constraints that were there in April and May of 2020. Thereafter, actually, demand recovered very strongly in almost all the products that we are in, except for maybe caustic soda. But even there, we are seeing the demand come back strongly right now. And in terms of logistics, I think apart from the initial difficulties, things settled down quite fast. I'm talking about the domestic logistics. Our international import logistics never had a problem. So we continue to receive our feedstock without any problems right through the the various phases of the pandemic and the first wave, second wave, etc. Demand has continued to be strong, even the second wave, through the second wave. If at all there is an impact, there would be more of temporary timing issues with maybe if our customer plants did not operate on time. So to that extent, demand slows down. But then our production goes on. So we have the inventories. It's not a permanent loss. And as soon as the customer plants come back online, demand recovers and these inventories are run down. So I believe that, we've not had too much of an impact. In fact, we had one of the best years ever in the last year, and that's continuing this year as well.
Absolutely. I think specialty chemicals was a theme that everyone was playing out in terms of COVID, and there is good growth that we are seeing in the sector as well. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you, Ramkumar, so much for joining us on the show. Pleasure to speak to you and get insights. Good luck. Congratulations once again. We will speak to you soon again, and stay safe.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.